Hello everyone, this is Adam for RealHomeRecording.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how to record a direct guitar, also known as a DI, direct injection. We're plugging an electric guitar into our interface and recording directly with it. Now, I can't show you that because unfortunately the way my equipment's set up, it's not going to be able to record the sound. I noticed that I can't record the sound because we're using a real interface. So I'm just going to show you how to do it, and you follow along. So here's the guitar. Nothing fancy. It's a guitar, and our obviously our guitar output is right here. So first, plug it in like that. Now we have three options. I have three options. You may only have one. If you don't have any of these options, then you do need to get what's called a direct box. I recommend, if budget is not an issue, this is a $200 interface. It's called the Radial J48. It gives you a ton of options. You have a input pad, 15 decibels. We have a merge input. We have a through so that you can record not just direct, but also to an amplifier and record the amplifier with a microphone. And then we also have, it's an XLR output. We can do a phase reversal, a low cut switch. That's good for if you use this while you're gigging. And then we also, this is probably the best feature. It's a ground lift switch, so that if you have any buzzing, any hum, you press this, and like magic, it goes away. The other thing that's cool about this, it does not require batteries. Some of these do require batteries. This runs off of phantom power. So you do need to have phantom power, that's the only thing. But most interfaces do nowadays. So, again, we have three options. Oh, our third option is this. This is called the Big Amp. Also a nice quality interface. This runs for about $100, maybe a little bit cheaper. But this is actually the Big Amp version 2, and it is just very simple 1/4 inch input, XLR output, and then you run that. And by the way, this does lock. And what I like about this is it's very discreet, so that if you do use it on stage, nobody notices it. This people will notice unless you put it by like a PA or something. I do like this. It's well made, well constructed. It has this, basically you can't touch the input. So if you lean it like this, nothing's going to get damaged. It's very well made. Made in Canada, and this is made, I forget what country this is. I think Holland. Yeah, hold up. Made in Holland. So either one, high quality interfaces. I recommend both. I've used both, and they sound good. The other option is, if your interface has it, instrument input, plug it directly in like that, and run it just like any other input. But I'm going to use the J48. So on J48, we're going to plug our guitar cable into the input, and then make sure the pad is off for right now because I'm not sure how loud the signal is going to be. And then we're going to plug a short XLR cable if you have one. Otherwise, just use whatever you got. But I like to have a short one. Plug this into the XLR output. And then plug this into our microphone input. Okay. Now, we are plugged in, and on our guitar, I would say set your output, depending on how much output you have, to about 5. But this guitar is really quiet, so I'm going to put it on 10. And next, I feel like a dummy. Got to get the strap out of the way first, and then, I'm not a guitar player, by the way. Not at all. We're going to set on our input, we're going to set our gain up to about, we'll go halfway, I guess. And now onto our DAW. Make sure we're on input 1, which we are. And oh, you know what? I forgot to put, this is good. I forgot to put phantom power on my interface. So I'm gonna flip that on right now. That's why the J48 wasn't working, and now it is. So, and that's really loud, as you guys can see, because I'm going for between -18 and -12 on the input. So what I'm gonna do first of all is dial my input down all the way to see where it goes. That's still too loud. This is why we set the output on the guitar. This is important. So I'm gonna put it on 5 and see what happens. So that's actually a good signal right there. Okay, so I can actually dial it down. Dial it down a little bit, wherever I can dial it down. I'm actually all the way down on here. So what I might want to do is actually hit the pad on the J48. If you don't have a pad, get one, because they always come in handy. I have another pad laying around here somewhere, which actually goes in between the XLR cable and the input, which is actually just this, not this 1/4-inch part. Here, I'll take it apart so you guys can see it. This Audio-Technica AT8202 multiple choice pad, so we can do anything from -10 to -30 decibels. Very useful little accessory. I highly recommend it. So we just use the pad on the J48. So now our signal should be lower. Yes, definitely. Because I want to have some gain. I want to have some gain on the preamp. Otherwise, it sounds a little weird. So the idea is that I'm playing pretty hard. And if you're not recording yourself, just have the musician do this. You don't want them going above -12. Or -10 actually. So this should do it. My pick went flying. So that's good. That's really all there is to it. And then you can get yourself a plugin. I don't know if I have this installed or not. If I have it, I'll show it to you. Oh, here, I do have it. So AmpliTube 3 from IK Multimedia. I'm loading that up right now. And what this allows me to do is select between a bunch of different guitar amp simulations. And I don't know, I'll put it on the clean orange amp. So I'm gonna roll this, hit record, and see what it does. Oh, I didn't even see if I was tuned up. Tuner on. Nope. I'm not going to do that on camera because it's just a waste of time. But you can tune up with AmpliTube. It simulates amplifiers. I've been using it for a number of years. I love it. And but there's other guitar amp simulators that you can use. Scuffam. There's Guitar Rig. And Recabinet. That's the new one. That's pretty good. There's also another one. I just can't remember the name of it. I haven't used it yet, but a lot of guitar players said it was awesome. But AmpliTube's good, especially within the past 2 or 3 years. They've really got good with their simulations. As you can hear, I'm not a guitar player. This also works just the same with bass guitar, except you would want to, obviously change it to one of the Ampeg settings, if you have that, which I think I do on this. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's that. I'm not going to play it because that would kind of sound dumb. But that's really it, guys. There's really not too many steps to it, but the main thing is, like I said, if you really want to get a good interface, I definitely recommend the big amp or the J48. J48 has more options on it, and you can't go wrong with either of those two. So this has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com. Oh, before I stop, big amp. I did it wrong when I did the review of this thing. I forgot to plug in a cable. I plugged this directly into the interface, like this. I plugged it in directly like that with the cable in. I did it wrong. I apologize to Triton Audio. I already did, but it's important that you guys know that I did that wrong, and I did make newer audio samples, but you need to make sure that you plug a guitar cable, or I'm sorry, an XLR cable into this. So XLR on this side, 1/4 inch on this side, and then plugged into the interface, because doing it directly is the wrong way to do it, and it affected the audio tone big time. And again, you want to make sure, and I think they actually made it very clear in their instructions, which I was kind of like a beta tester for this thing. And just dummies that don't know any better like me, just plugging it in directly, because I was so used to using the these things look very similar, and I just assumed that they all work the same, where you can just plug it directly into the input, and that just was not the case. So make sure you do that if you use the big amp. And that's about it. This has been Adam for RealHomeRecording.com.